Amen.
Good morning. I'm Jeannie Snedeker. I'm the Interim Director of Christian Education, and I'd like to invite our children to come forward. Good morning. Come sit down with me. How are you today? Good. I'm so glad. Hi, everybody.
Are we going upstairs today?
Are we going upstairs? Yes, we are. Hi, Grace. Hi, Anna.
Baseball.
Come on forward. How's everybody today?
Good.
I'm so very happy to see you. We're after the storm and you're all safe and well. It was a little bit of a crazy week, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last Tuesday we had a lockdown drill because they thought there was going to be tornado.
I know. It was pretty stormy outside.
We stayed there for hours.
Oh, my gosh.
I
Okay.
stayed there for 2 hours.
I understand. Okay, Freeze. All right, well, I got to tell you something, then we'll talk about this story. You can tell me all about school when we go upstairs, okay? I brought my phone with me today.
Why did you bring your phone?
Well, I normally don't bring it with me in church because it's a bit of a distraction, but I've been thinking a lot about God's call. You know that phrase, God's call? And I thought, oh my goodness, what if God calls me on the phone? Is that a thing? Do you think that's possible? Will God call me on the phone?
No, God doesn't have a phone.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't just talk to the ground and buys a phone.
Oh, well, I think you're right. Actually, now that I think about it, God probably won't call me on the phone. But God does call us. God does call each one of us to make the world a better and more loving place. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more today about the guy Moses that we talked about last week. If you remember, we talked about Moses was the baby in the basket. You remember that? And a princess found him. Well, now Moses is grown up. So a lot has happened between baby Moses and now. Moses was raised as a prince of Egypt. He's no longer in Egypt at this point in the story. He's married. And he's out in the wilderness tending the sheep that belonged to his father-in-law. So he's out in the wilderness, and he encounters a bush, and it's burning.
Yeah, but it doesn't burn away into ashes.
You are right. It does not burn. You know what? I think you should give the children a sermon. What do you think about that? But it doesn't burn up. Ingrid is right. It doesn't burn up, and then all of a sudden, there's God's voice. I really think you should give the children a moment. That must have freaked Moses out. It would freak us out, right? That's a really dramatic way to encounter God's call, I think. And I doubt we're going to run into a burning bush. But as I said, I do think that God calls each one of us. And sometimes it's easy to think, well, I'm not the smartest one. I'm not that person over there who's got it all together. I'm not the strongest one. God's not going to call me. But God does call us. Sometimes we think, I mess up all the time. I'm always arguing with my brother and sister. I'm never doing the dishes. God's not going to call me. But guess what? God does call each one of us. And each one of you, this is really important, each one of you has a special gift, or maybe lots of special gifts. And God will call you to use those gifts to make the world a more loving place. So Ingrid asks a good question. How does God call us?
Yeah.
Anybody have any idea? How does God speak to us in our lives? And it's not on the phone. Anybody have any ideas?
Maybe he turns into a human and then he just talks to us.
Well, Jesus did that, right?
Maybe he turns into an angel and talks to you on your shoulder.
Maybe. I have an idea. When I'm with my family and feeling loved and supported, I think that's God. When yesterday, a stranger did something very polite and let me walk in front of him, and it was so surprising to me, I thought, that's God. Anytime you reach out and you love someone or you help someone, every time you notice the beauty around you, in the beautiful sunset, or a waterfall. Anybody seen a waterfall?
Me.
They're amazing. And you can say, wow, God made this. And so I believe that God speaks into our world and into our lives. It doesn't matter if you're 5 or 500. You are gifted, and God has asked each one of us to share those gifts to make the world a better place. So I hope you will keep your hearts and minds open for God's call in your life. Let's say a prayer. Amazing and loving God, you call each one of us to share our gifts, our talents, our time, to make the world a better, more loving place. Give us the courage to say yes. Give us the courage to keep trying, even when we make mistakes, because you are there, Lord, to help us. Amen. All right, walking feet.